Welcome back, class. My name is Mr. Betts, and probably out of all the comments I get from my videos, the one I get the most is, how do I make my videos? How do I make the parody song? So today, I want to go over how I actually write a parody song, from initial concept all the way through to the writing and we're ready to record and film. And if that's something you're interested in, stick around. And if it's something you're not interested in, just let this tab, put it on silent, let it play in like the million other tabs you have, because I could really use the Google AdSense money. I'm gonna break this down into 4 parts. Song selection, prep work, pre-writing, and writing. Those are gonna be the 4 major components that we're going to discuss, and I'm gonna give you tips about. So the first one is song selection. People always ask, how do I select my songs? Do I select the song first, or do I select the topic first? It depends. If I know I have to work on a specific topic and I don't have a lot of time to do it, I'll have the topic first and then I'll figure out a song that goes along with it. Now, if I have a little bit more time, I actually have a YouTube playlist that I've made for myself of potential songs to do in the future, and then I can just kind of look at that list and be like, oh, this kind of matches up. Well, I'm really looking, or at least like listening for opportunities, especially in the chorus, for where key parts of vocabulary or content could fit in kind of organically. But here are some simple rules when you are looking for those songs. First, try to pick a song that people know, because if nobody really knows the song, it's a little bit weird. People are like, did they write this? Plus, if you're putting it up on YouTube and it's a song that nobody knows, it's gonna be that much harder for people to find. Up-tempo pop songs, even if you hate them, they are great for parody songs. A lot of people know them, and they also have a lot of words. I don't listen to pop music, but every month or so, I will listen to one of those compilations on YouTube, like the 50 top songs of the week, and I'll just see if any of them jump out to me. I'll just put them on a little playlist for later. Rap songs are fantastic. Watch out though, it's a lot of words and it's a lot of like complex cadence. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. And ballads are horrible. Stay away from ballads. They are so slow and they're often filled with like these giant instrumental stretches. It just gets really awkward for everyone. Speaking of which, watch out for songs with giant instrumental breaks if those are like key components to the song. That being said, don't think that you have to do the entire song. You can trim it down. If it has a long instrumental and you know what you're doing in audio editing, just clip that. That kind of leads us to our next section, prep work. Okay, so let's say that you've come up with your topic and you've come up with your song. First things first, you gotta learn the song. If you don't already know that song, you need to download it. You need to put it on your phone, whatever you listen to it. That becomes the only thing you listen to for the next day or two. Put it on repeat, listen to it again and again and again and again and again. To do it well, you're gonna need to know that song in and out, at least for this brief amount of time. You should get the original song, and so that you're not just singing over that song with the original vocals there, find a good karaoke track. There are tons of them. Probably you'll find 4 or 5 different versions on YouTube, so you should probably like illegally download that. Did I say that out loud? You don't have to illegally download it. If you're just going to like be performing it in front of your class, just let that play in the background. But yeah, you may want to illegally download that. What am I saying? Now, if you want to take it to the next level and actually do the audio trimming, this is where that comes in. What I do is I take the original track, I put it in one track in my audio program. I use Adobe Audition, but you can get free software like Audacity. I put one track up here, that's the original one, then I put the karaoke track down here. If I'm lucky, I can get them to line up without having to do any adjusting of time or rate or speed. If I'm not so lucky, this becomes a really big pain. But this way, by having those 2 tracks together, if I need to get rid of any of it, if I want to get rid of a verse, if I want to get rid of an instrumental, I can do a big group cut, get it out of there. And then later on when I record it, I'll turn the original track most of the way down, but just so it's faintly in the background. But if I lose track of how the original goes, I can bring it back up again. Boom. I have kind of like my guide track. Let's go to the third part. Pre-writing. This is probably what you don't want to hear. Writing a parody song is a lot like writing an essay. You got to do pre-planning, you got to do brainstorming, you got to do research. So what you should do before you even start laying down any lyrics, think about your topic and think about everything you want to say about your topic. Write it down. You can see down here for like my Transcontinental Railroad or my 1990s track, I just put down all of the topics so I could see everything that I have to work with. That way I can also gauge what's important and what's not. You also got to figure out if your topic's got to be told chronologically or more like a list. Chronologically, kind of like my Jamestown video where I'm telling the story of Jamestown, or maybe more of a list like my progressive era video where I'm just talking about all these different attributes that make up the progressive era. Once you have everything down on paper, you've consulted a whole bunch of different sources, that's when you can start identifying what is the most important information. There's a good chance that that's what's going to make up your chorus. By the way, for the most part, you have two parts of your song. You have the chorus and you have the verse. Yeah, you have the pre-chorus and the bridge, whatever. The verse in a song is a part that has like identical music to it and identical melody, but the words are very, very different. It's almost like, that's like the details of a song. And then you have the chorus, which is, you know, repeated again, but the chorus tends to be repeated both in music and in words. But know that that goes for the original track, not a parody track. We don't have time to be repeating ourselves. We're gonna fix that in a little bit. All right, let's start actually writing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna set up a Google document like I got right over here. I'm gonna set up a brand new document and I'm gonna make a 2-column table. On the left-hand side, I'm gonna find the original lyrics for the song that I'm making a parody of, and I'm going to insert them into the left-hand side. I'm also going to number these lines, taking out any numbers that are in spaces, right? So any actual line gets an actual number to it. This is gonna show me how much I have to work with. If I'm getting rid of any verses or deleted choruses, I'm gonna highlight them, get them out of here as well. The right-hand side is where I'm going to put my parody lyrics. And you know what? I'm gonna put in numbers here. And most of the time, what I'm gonna do at this point is I'm gonna print out this document, because this is where I'm going to take my brainstorming session and I'm gonna start assigning to different verses, different choruses. That way I know I only have 4 lines to get this main idea across. I know how much I have to work with. Like in the case of the Constitution song, I know that that opening Bieber part was all supposed to be about historical context. So it really paid for me to know how many lines I have to get that out of the way. Now there's 3 important parts when you're actually writing that you should consider, and this is the order they go in: cadence, rhyme scheme, and the actual rhyme. Cadence is most important. The best way that I can explain it, it's the amount of syllables that you have and how they fall on different beats. Syllables being like, almost like the beats, of a word, like parts of a word. So like syllables, there's 3 of them there. Lincoln, there's 2 of them there. Mr. Betts. I find with parody songs, cadence is the most important thing to replicate, because if people can't identify the cadence, or if it's like severely off, they're not gonna know what you're doing. It just sounds really weird. The second most important part is rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is how the lines rhyme with each other. Baba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags full. Oh is the rhyming sound. But that's not as important as the rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme works this way. Let's assign a letter to that sound. Baba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags full. 1 for the master, 1 for the dame, 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. Baba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bags full. That's a AABBAA rhyme scheme. If I'm going to replicate that, I'm gonna make sure that the first 2 lines rhyme, the second 2 lines rhyme, and the third 2 lines rhyme with each other and with the first 2. Rhyme scheme is really important, and then you have rhyme. You don't necessarily have to keep the same rhymes that were in the original song. You don't need the same sounds as long as the same lines rhyme with each other. I hope that makes sense. One of the things that you should look at on your brainstorming sheet is what major content words rhyme with each other. You can start kind of like pairing them away immediately, knowing that you're going to be using them later. Oh, and if you're back into a corner, check out rhymezone.com. I use it frequently. You basically put in a word and it will tell you every word that rhymes with it, and it breaks it down into words with 1 syllable that rhymes, 2 syllables, 3 syllables, so it's really good for planning ahead. Oh, and I said that we were gonna get back to choruses. Choruses in your parody song should not be the same. That's vital lines that you have to explain a major topic. You should vary them up. If you do keep them the same, they better be the same for a reason. Maybe you have like a returning line, a repeating line, but not the whole thing altogether. That being said, I think on my next parody song, I'm repeating my chorus. I'm a hypocrite. And lastly, you're not gonna get to cover everything that is important. Everything on your brainstorming outline sheet, it's not gonna fit into the song. There's only so much you can do. And if you look at my comments, people are always telling me, yeah, but you didn't talk about blah, 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 blah. I got 30, 40, maybe 50 lines to go over an entire topic, and I'm confined by rhyme scheme and cadence. I may not get to every tiny detail, but make sure you get those important parts in there. So that's my opener for how to write a parody song. If you want to learn more, like how I record, how I film, how I edit, let me know in the comments if this is something you're interested in. Also, if you can't wait for me to make another video, you want to learn right now and you want to learn from an actual expert, you can join Skillshare. Skillshare is a site where you have these online lessons, over 18,000 of them by experts in their different fields. I actually have an account because one of the things that I want to teach myself this summer is After Effects. I think it would be great to elevate the quality of my videos, and they have these really great in-depth programs that are broken up into these little bits. And if you're interested in learning that or almost anything else this summer, I left a link down in the description. You can get 2 months for free, 2 months of Skillshare unrestricted for free by using the link down in the description. Gives a little kickback to Mr. Betts, makes me feel good, and we all win. So if you like this video, make sure you click that button that lets me know, leave a comment down below, and make sure you subscribe, because even knowing the summer is upon us, I'm still making videos. Summer is great. I have more freedom. I can get a little weird with it, so be safe. I'll see you next time.